What's up, guys? It's Jon, founder of NRSNG. I'm here with Nurse Bass. That's who I found in Dallas this weekend.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Brad? Nurse
Not a lot,
Bass.
man. Happy to be out here.
So tell everybody why you're here, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, so got to come out here to NRSNG's second annual live conference, which was really awesome. Got to come out here and have a conversation with about 175, 200 nursing students and potential nurses, just to kind of instill some inspiration and motivation to let them know, we've all had our own paths. We're just like you are, but just to try and give them hope that it can be done.
Yeah, I invited Brad out last year. He wasn't able to come, and he'll maybe talk about that in a minute. But he's able to come this year. We invited him back right away because I found Brad on YouTube 4 years ago.
Yeah,
when
probably.
you were in your last semester or something like that. We were both kind of just starting out on YouTube, and I could tell there was a lot of similarities. That we're not here to lie to you guys. We're not here to just get followers. We're here to tell you guys the truth.
Yeah.
We're here to tell you how it is, and he's stayed true to that. So it's cool to finally meet in person.
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely.
So along those lines, do you mind sharing some of your story? And I want you guys to know that you can do this, and I think Brad has a really good story about that.
Yeah, sure. So how far back should I go?
You decide.
What do you think? Well, let's see.
And maybe talk about I think your upbringing is good if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I grew up. I guess I grew up pretty poor. Never really had a lot of money. Didn't really have access to health care, nothing like that. Just kind of grew up in this confined state of mind that all I was probably ever going to be was a warehouse worker. My father was a warehouse worker, and I figured that's what I was going to do too. Although I made good grades in high school, I guess I just had that mental limitation. So whenever I graduated high school, I went straight into a warehouse position. Somewhere along the lines in there, I went to college. I decided this warehouse life is not for me. I'm going to go to college. I went to college, ended up bombing out.
Were you like the first in your family to do college? Or?
No, my dad had attempted. He
Gotcha.
only went for one semester,
Gotcha.
but other than that, yeah.
Wow.
So bombed out, lost access to financial aid, so I couldn't go to school anymore. Back to the warehouse. Eventually, I got tired of that, and I was like, man, I was always smart in high school. I was just slacking off my first time in college, so I should go back. Ended up going back, and decided I wanted to go into nursing school. I managed to get into the nursing program. I just grinded and worked as hard as I could whenever I was in the program. Things were going good. I ended up graduating and got a job as an ICU nurse as a new grad, which is really crazy.
CVICU.
CVICU,
hardcore.
correct. Yeah, recovering the fresh open heart patients. I did that for about 2 years. In 2017, I lost my mother. She OD'd. She was 44.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. 1 week before.
Your mom's 44.
Yeah.
So she had you young.
Yeah, she did.
Wow.
Like 17.
Oh my gosh.
1 week before her birthday. Then I had my son, my very first child, in October. And then 2018, which was like, it was just a couple of days before the anniversary of my mom's death. My dad died. So man, dealing with a lot of emotions. That really just kind of threw me for a hard loop, as you can imagine that it would. Ended up having to get on antidepressants for it. Life just got really hard. But through some time and like a lot of self-evaluation and just trying to help take care of myself, I ended up being able to get over that. A lot of people, some can, some can't, but thankfully I was able to. Transitioned out of the ICU, even though I love critical care. I had to get out of there. I couldn't keep dealing with death on a day-to-day.
I knew you were transitioning away from it, and I was wondering why from a distance when I saw on Instagram that but hearing you talk about that yesterday, I mean, the ICU is hell.
Yeah.
The ICU is hell.
It can be.
On your mentality and stuff. And
For sure.
I mean, it did the same thing to me, but considering what you were going through, I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Working nights.
Yeah.
Having to leave the family at home. It's like, and growing up, I was never close to any of my family. I've still got, grandparents, and I've still got aunts and uncles. I never talked to them. We've just never been close. It's always been me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. And then I lost both of them. Things got out of control with my brother. He's locked up now. Like, so looking at me like you would never think like this.
The resume doesn't line up.
No,
right.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man, just perseverance, always having that belief in myself that I'm worth it, which I think is really an important thing.
How did you, I don't want this to sound.
You make it sound hard.
Yeah. How did you convince yourself that you're worth it? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did you get those signals?
I don't know, man. My boy, Mr. West, who, I've been working with, he's been my best friend for our whole lives.
Say hi.
He grew up very similar to I did. Very similar situations with family. He lost his pop about 10 years ago now. Just a lot of similarities, but we've always kind of had each other, like, instilling in each other, dude, we're worth it. We deserve more. Like, we grew up. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
I don't know. We grew up shit. Didn't ever have anything, but we always knew we didn't want to be like that. So I guess although we grew up like that, we knew.
So it's the two of you that kind of.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. It's great to have that person that like gives you a branch, something to pull you out.
Yeah.
We always wanted something to get us away from what we've always known.
Yeah.
And that just, like you said, just pushing each other, just, building each other's confidence, giving each other compliments of, when you do good, like, and, we've always been two creative people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, I believe that the hardest things that happen in your life actually turn out to be blessings. Like the worst things I've ever gone through, I wouldn't change because it's made me who I am today, and I'm happy with who I am.
It almost teaches you what you can. It almost shows you what you can handle. It's
yeah,
like, I got through that. And
absolutely.
See, now I feel like a little baby, because I share my story, and there were some difficulties. But I always had family. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I always had family. My family, we all live.
Yeah.
I mean, right now you're a half mile from almost all my siblings.
Right.
Sitting in this little office. So
that's great, though.
Man, I always had that, and even in the difficulties, like, I had that. But I like that. Without having that, you guys found each other.
Yeah.
Know? And I think for any student out there, find that. Don't find any friend in nursing school.
Yeah.
Find that friend.
Yes. Absolutely.
And when you start working, find that person. Because there is a lot of negativity in nursing.
Yeah, for sure.
And without having that person, you can
quickly burn out.
And
make a career change. Say this isn't for me. And after all that hard work and dedication that you did to get through nursing school, that would be horrible. Yeah. So I mean, there's a great value in having somebody like that. We've talked about that before. Like if I didn't have this guy, I don't know where I could have been. You know what I mean? So it's a big blessing.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
No, I mean, I think the biggest message I like to share with nursing students is that you can do it. I mean, when like at our conference yesterday, I love it every year because we meet everybody face to face.
Right.
And we hear those struggles, and we hear I just fell out, or I just got kicked out, or I, lost a family member. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, look around the room. And that's kind of what I did the first thing yesterday. I was like, stand up if, you had this struggle or this struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And you only have to go about 2 or 3 struggles deep, and everybody's standing up.
Right.
It's like, look around. We all keep this stuff internally.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many of your classmates knew what you were going through or where your background was in school.
Right.
And a lot of us keep it internally, and just getting that out in the open, you realize, like, dude, it sucks for all of us.
Yeah.
One way or another.
You're right. A lot of us really do internalize that. If people were to be open, though, like that, especially in nursing school, whenever you're all going through such a struggle together, it just really does reinforce that thought that you're not alone.
You're not alone.
And people really need that, especially nursing students. Lord knows. it's hard enough as it is.
And that's what as we were closing out the conference yesterday, that's kind of the thought that came to me as I was listening to Brad and some of the other people talk was there's nothing else that would have brought the 200 people together other than nursing.
Absolutely.
You look around the room and everybody's different. Mm-hmm. Everybody has different interests. Everybody has different backgrounds, different lives, different ages. I mean, we had people from 18, I think was the youngest, up to almost 70.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of things that would get that group of people together, but this profession does.
Yeah.
So just be cool with each other.
Yeah.
And realize everybody's going through something and try to help out and support.
Build each other up.
Yeah.
And that's another thing in nursing school. It can be very competitive. It can be. But man, we all need help. People need help, and people need hope.
And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like, you know, I was talking to Brad last night. I'm like, if you never decided to make that initial thing and make a YouTube page, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be experiencing any of this, you know? And it all just came from him just having the idea, I'm going to document my way through nursing school.
Yeah.
And, you know, think about all the opportunities that have came from that.
Yeah.
And all you were doing was just putting yourself out there and,
Yeah.
you know, giving something a try.
Yeah. The opportunity to meet people has been the best thing, to be able to help people and inspire people. Never thought that would have happened.
I love it.
Me too, man.
I got nothing else.
I don't either.
I guess you guys just realize, like, if you don't feel like you have anybody else, if you're afraid to put yourselves out there, subscribe to Nurse Bass, listen to his story, listen to our stories, listen to the podcast. Brad has a new podcast out, Stop the Ship.
Stop the Ship, yes, sir.
Make sure you listen to that, because if you don't feel like you have anybody in your personal surroundings right next to you, you have us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And while we can't be there with you, you can listen and you can share these stories and know that we're in this together. We got your back.
Absolutely. You're not alone.
Happy nursing.